to my own electorate in Werribee, the electorate of Lawler, Werribee, a very important suburb. And whether I was in Tasmania or in my own electorate, I've been having the same conversations with people, and it's the conversation I will have with the whole of the Australian
Prime Minister.
This election campaign about moving
Prime Minister.
We'll just go to this and we're trying to be fair. Yes.
Prime Minister, our voters will be wondering what your top priorities are. What are the first three things that you intend to do if you are re-elected?
Well, I think my priorities are, as I've outlined today, they are keeping the economy strong so that people can get the benefits of work, keeping investing in education, reforming education, so we can truly offer children in this country every child, no matter the circumstances of their birth, the opportunity for a great quality education. And thirdly, and very importantly, I would be saying to Australians, and the way I would govern as Prime Minister is to say, we don't have to be afraid of the future. We can master big challenges like climate change by working together, going forward with confidence and optimism. That's what I bring to the job.
Prime Minister, are you going to have some more to say on tax reform throughout the course of the campaign, in particular some of the outstanding issues flowing from the new review?
Well, I'm glad you've raised the question of tax, because I think Australians will find it very interesting indeed that the Liberal Party goes into this campaign with a plan for increased company tax. I go into this campaign with a commitment to reduce company tax. Yes.
Mr. Gillard, are you is the Labor fully ready to go into the election, or does Cabinet need to meet before you resolve the problem in terms of outstanding issues?
Well, that brings me to an important question. The writs will be issued at 6 p.m. on Monday. 6 p.m. on Monday, and I would want to say to Australians who may not be on the electoral roll that the cut-off for new enrollees is 8 p.m. on Monday.
Ms. Gillard, you've been pushing for... You're in Tasmania the other day. The question on logging came up. The federal government's involvement in any resolution to the discussions that are going on down there, do you envisage having to make a decision during the campaign, or is it something that you don't envisage addressing till after the campaign, say over the jobs package? Or
I said in Tasmania yesterday that I understand that there are discussions happening between people who have spent a lot of their lives arguing with each other. That's a good thing, but those discussions, as I understand it, have also got some way to go.
Ms. Gillard.
Prime Minister, leaving aside the traditional statements at these press conferences about close battles and hard fought and wanting to be the underdog or whatever, the betting market does have Labor as a very firm favourite. Are you confident, and do you expect to pick up seats or lose seats?
I'm not a betting person, and I expect this to be a close, tough, hard-fought campaign. I think we've seen all of the signs of it so far. I do genuinely believe this is a close election, very close election, and it will be a very hard-fought campaign. For me, I will be doing my best every day to be talking to Australians about the future of this country and about my plans to take the nation forward.
Ms. Gillard.
Minister, when you were in opposition, you wrote an extensive paper about reforming question time. If you are re-elected, will you look at doing that, reforming question time and reforming how the House works?
With the greatest respect to the question, I believe hard-working Australians thinking about what an election means for their nation, with the election being called today, may have their minds on other matters than question time, may have their minds on matters like jobs and hospitals, GP super clinics, whether or not their son or daughter is going to get an opportunity of a trades education in a trades training centre. For question time for those matters, I'll defer that to Anthony Albanese in his job as Leader of Government Business.
Prime Minister, given the list of policy priorities at the beginning, are you offering more of the same to voters or a change in any way? Is there any way in which Labor in its second term will be different to Labor in its first?
I think we will be different. I am obviously a new Prime Minister. I've outlined the things that drive me, and that I bring to the job as Prime Minister. I also believe we would go into our second term with some lessons learned. and with the benefit of those lessons, we would be able to implement and deliver programs differently than we have in the past. I've acknowledged, for example, with a program I was directly responsible for, the Building the Education Revolution program, there have been lessons learned.
Prime Minister, you've been pushing for... Prime Minister.
Go Phil and then here and then we might go
Prime
Phil
Minister,
and Dave.
Labor has said at this time, at the last election, they wanted 3 election debates. Will you have 3 election debates? And if not, why not?
I've spent a fair bit of time debating Tony Abbott.
Proper debates.
I've spent a fair bit of time debating Tony Abbott in a lot of circumstances. Morning television, in the House of Representatives, in earlier election campaigns at the Press Club and so on and so forth. The actual arrangements for the debates are being worked through by the respective party secretaries. I said last question here, I think it was.
Prime Minister, you've been pushing for young voters to get enrolled before this election. How are you going to ensure that they'll vote for you, and how are you going to address their concerns on issues like mental health and climate change?
It's not a question of who people are going to vote for. Whatever way they're going to vote, people should enrol to vote. I get the opportunity to speak to young people. I speak at schools. I meet a lot of 17-year-olds who are going to turn 18, and I always say to them, around our world, there are people who literally fight and die for the right to vote. Having that ability to vote is a very, very precious thing, and people should get themselves on the rolls. In terms of the policies of the campaign, I believe young people are interested in the future of this country. They're interested in going forward. They'll be interested in what I'll be saying about strong economy, prospects for work, prospects for them as they move into the workforce, what we're saying about education, what we're saying about health. They'll be interested in our climate change policies. And I also believe young people particularly will be interested in our plans to keep developing the national broadband network, something that will be lost under Mr.
What about the internet filter?
Thank you very much.